The four basic steps that King talks about in his Birmingham letter was collection of the facts that determine whether injustices are alive, negotiation, self-purification, and direct action. King says that Birmingham has gone through all of the steps, but there has been no gratifying change. There's still much racial injustice that is involved in the community, but there are so many unsolved bombings on Black homes and churches that there's no action being taken. These racial actions are happening more in Birmingham than in many cities, than any other city. This is because many white community members would refuse to talk to the King or any of the other Black church leaders. The white community members refused good faith negotiation with the Black leaders. The Black leaders just wanted to make a negotiation for peace. They just wanted each race to be able to live with peace in the community, but the white leaders refused any negotiation. To stop the collection of the facts that determine whether injustices are alive is by taking action or taking down racial signs in the stores and not breaking promises about gaining their human rights in the community and to be treated fairly. The Black community wanted to be accepted by the white community, to be able to live and have the same rights as everyone else. They struggled with getting people to accept that they were not going to leave the community. King's main goal was trying to get people to accept that they were going to be living there, and that they needed to accept that they were not going to leave the community and that they should be treated equally, to not have racial signs in the front of the stores to keep them away. Negotiation was a big part of the growth of the Black community gaining their human rights back. It was hard for many Black leaders to negotiate with the white religious leaders because many would refuse to talk or even look at them. When they did listen, they were disrespectful. They would promise the Black leaders and would not follow through with their promises. For example, the Alabama Christian Movement for Human Rights was agreed between King and the Black Church, between Reverend Sutterworth and the leaders of the movement. The leaders of the movement agreed to call a moratorium to discuss the types of demonstration about the discrimination between the communities. But the leaders of the movement broke their promises and did not take down any of the racial signs, and it did not help stop the racial discrimination. Self-purification was King's way of demonstrating nonviolence. King used self-purification throughout prayer and teaching. He would speak to his church that they would not take any violent actions to the white community because they will even struggle more with trying to get their human rights back. They try nonviolent actions with the white community to try and get their attention, to show that they don't want to cause any harm. By doing peaceful protests and gathering, King was able to speak to those in the community, to try and get them to listen, to have them understand that the two communities can live in peace. That the Black community wants to be able to have the same freedom as the white. Self-purification was one of King's main steps to trying to get the two communities together. Direct action is a non-violent resistance in injustice. King used direct action to let the leaders of the white community know that they were not doing any crimes, that the white community was the ones that were hurting the city. The Black community tried to be peaceful and would take nonviolent actions like communicating and negotiating with the others to stop the racial actions. To stop the injustice between the communities, they would ask for the white community to respect them and to respect their decision for staying in the community. Overall, King's letter was impactful because It allowed others to see what was happening in Birmingham. Allowed other cities to be able to show that what they're doing is not right and everyone should be treated respectfully. We all should be given our human rights. Martin's main goal was to let the white community in Birmingham know that they were not causing any violence and that they wanted to just live in peace.